Good day to all of you children. Now we are taking up some more sums for practice, and in these sums you will get idea of the precision and significant digits. The volume of a cube, I am doing first question for you. The volume of cube of side 1 centimeter is how much? So side length is 1 centimeter and we want volume in meter cube. So children, please understand the length. I am doing first one for you. Length is 1 centimeter and that is 10 raised to minus 2 meter. I write like this. I want volume. So volume will be L cube. That will be 10 raised to minus 2 meter cube. So volume will be 10 raised to minus 6 meter cube. Children, please remember over here whatever data was given to us in 1 centimeter, there was precision for no decimal. That means you are not sure what is the value of length of side after the decimals. Therefore, length was only given as 1 centimeter. It was not said 1.0 or 1.01, 1.02, nothing. That means there is precision only up to the complete integer. We are not sure about the fractional part of the length. And therefore, we can say that there is only significant digit is 1 and the precision is only up to the complete integer part. There is no decimal part over here. Therefore, in the final answer, there should be one significant digit because in the given data, the significant digit is 1 and there should be no decimals. 10 raised to minus 6, it automatically means 1 into 10 raised to minus 6. So you may stress like this, 1 into 10 raised to minus 6 meter cube to show this is only one significant digit, or you may even write like this. So this itself means 1 into 10 raised to minus 6. This one means only one significant digit. Here also one significant digit. And precision is for complete integer part. 1, there is no decimal, here also no decimal. So this or this may be considered as the correct answer. Let us go for second. Surface area of a solid cylinder of radius 2.0 centimeter. See, radius is 0.2 centimeter, 2.0 centimeter. And the height is 10.0 centimeter. Children, you can make out there is precision for one decimal only. So we are sure up to 2, but after the decimal, the 0 can come, 1 can come, 2 can come, whatever. Means measurements have been taken up to first decimal, that is what we think. So here also to 1 decimal, here also to 1 decimal. That means final answer, whatever value it has got, there should be only one place after the decimal because precision is only up to 1 decimal. Now I know what is the formula and it is set in millimeter square. So right now you can say 2 centimeter means 20 millimeter and that means 100 millimeter. You may not put decimals over here, that is okay. In the final result we will put. It is asked to be the surface area. Now we know that surface area is given by 2 pi r into r plus h. Because it will be 2 pi r square for 2 caps. Let me think like this. 2 pi r square, 2 circular caps at the sides. And the surface area of the curved surface, 2 pi r h. So that I write 2 pi r into r plus h. Like this I write. So this becomes 2 into 22 upon 7 into 100 plus 20, 120. This comes out to be how much? Let us see. So this is 44 into 120 into 100 divided by 7. Oh, I did not put it down. 44 into 120 into 100 divided by 7. That is coming out to be 75428. 75428. 0.57, something like this, and that is millimeter square, and we want surface area in millimeter square. Now children, please understand, decimal after decimal there should not be one value, and here there are 2 significant digits and here there are 3 significant digits. Minimum I should keep, means I will keep only 2, so I round off my surface area. Surface area I write as, I first use the decimal over here, 7.5428. 7.5428, 57 and so on, millimeter square. See, I am shifting decimal over here by 1, 2, 3, 4. So into 10 raised to 4 millimeter square. I shifted decimal 4 places. Now I told you that we want only 2 digits because there are 2 significant digits over here and 3 over here. So we should give only 2 significant digits. Start rounding off. This will become 6, 9, 3, then this is 4 and 5. So this is 7.5 into 10 raised to 4 millimeter square. 2 significant digits and a precision only up to 1 decimal. So this is the final answer, 7.5 into 10 raised to 4 millimeter square. So you have to take into account the number of significant digits. That rule that you have to take into account when you multiply and divide, the minimum number of significant digits should be there. And also you have to take into account the precision. How many decimal places have to be maintained, that you have to take care. Then C is there. Vehicle moving at 18 km per hour. See children, 2 significant digits. And precision only for the complete part, complete integer part. There is no decimal place. So in the final answer, there should be no decimal place. It covers in 1 second. Okay, so speed is given 18 and this is 1 second. So this contains 2 significant digits. This contains only 1 significant digit. So in the final answer, there should be only 1 significant digit. And it is said that distance will be how much? The formula for distance is dt. So distance becomes 18 km per hour into 1 second. So I write it as 18 into 1000 upon 3600. I convert it into meter per second into 1 second. So these two go on, 18 ones are 18 twos are 2 ones are 2 5s are. So that is equal to how much? 5 meter. See, there is precision into for the complete part, complete integer part only, there are no decimals. So there were no decimals in the given data over here and over here, 1 second and 18 seconds. Precision was there only for the complete integer part. So we are writing the final answer in complete integer part. Here 2 places, here only 1 place. Final should have minimum place. 5 meter, this is the correct answer. We should not write it as 5.0, no, only 5. Then look at D. Relative density of lead is 11.3, hence its density is so much in gram per centimeter cube or so much in kilogram meter per cube. Children, you know relative density is density of substance, lead over here, upon density of water. And density of water we know it is 1 gram per centimeter cube or it is 10 cube kg per meter cube. So when I want in gram per centimeter cube density of lead, that will be relative density into rho W. When I want this density of lead in gram per centimeter cube, I keep rho W in this much. When I want this in kg per meter cube, I will keep this as 10 cube kg per meter cube. So rho L will become 11.3 into 1, that is 11.3 gram per centimeter cube. Okay? So this is 11.3 or rho L will be 11.3 into rho W in MKS, that is 10 cube. So rho L will be kg per meter cube. So this will be 11.3 into 10 cube kg per meter cube. So whatever data was given to me, I think about it. I don't think about rho W because rho W value was not given to me. Rho W I have taken the value 1 gram per centimeter cube or 1000 kg per meter cube. Whatever data is given to me, that is the measured data. So I should be worried for this. This is having 3 significant digits and precision up to 1 decimal. So here also in both my answers, there is precision up to 1 decimal and there are 3 significant digits. So these are the answers for density of lead in gram per centimeter cube and kilogram per meter cube. Please pause and copy, children. See, the next one is 1 kg meter square per second square is how many gram centimeter square per second square? So very easy, children. 1 kg meter square upon second square. This will be 1000 gram. 1 meter means 100 centimeter square upon 1 second square. So this is 10 raised to 4 and 10 raised to 3. This becomes 10 raised to 7 gram centimeter square upon second square. Now children, this 10 raised to 7 means automatically 1 into 10 raised to 7. That is one and the same thing. Even if I don't write 1 into 10 raised to 7, it is understood. 1 into 10 raised to 7. So in my data, there was only no decimals in the data. So no decimals in the final answer. 1 significant digit, 1 significant digit. You know we don't count significant digits of the exponential part. So this is the correct answer. Second one, 1 meter is how many light years? So 1 meter is equal to dash light year. I want 1 meter how much? There are no decimals. So precision is required for complete integer part. So answer should have no decimals. Please remember. Now children, we know that 1 light year is 9.46 into 10 raised to 15 meter. That we know. So 1 light year is this much. So 1 meter will be x light years. We want x supposing. So x into this will be this into this. So x will be 1 upon 9.46 into 10 raised to 15. So I can write x as 10 upon 9.46 into 10 raised to 16. I multiply and divide by 10 so that I can divide by 10. So 10 divided by 9.46, that is 1.057, something like this, 08 like this, into 10 raised to minus 16, this one. Now I know I want precision for complete integer part only. There were no decimals over here. So there should be no decimals over here and only one significant digit. So one significant digit. The x will be equal to how much? Rounding off 1 into 10 raised to minus 16, or you can write it as 10 raised to minus 16 light year. Like this. The 1 meter is these many light years. Then C part. Understand 3.0 meter per second square. Two significant digits and a precision up to 1 decimal point. We want it in terms of kilometer per hour square. So this is 3.0. 1 meter means 10 raised to minus 3 kilometer. And 1 second means, see I'll write over here. 1 hour is 3600 seconds. So 1 second will be 1 upon 3600 hour. So this will be 1 upon 3600 square hour square. Second square are like this. So this becomes 3.0 10 raised to minus 3 3600 square kilometer per hour square. Now let us see what it is. So this is 3 into 3600, or I write 10 raised to 4 separate. So 3 into 36 into 36. That is coming out to be 3888 into 10 raised to 4 from here and minus 3 to 10 raised to 1. But I want only up to 1 decimal. So please shift over here. 3.888 into 10 raised to 4, and then only up to 2 decimals, I mean 2 significant digits and 1 decimal. So I write it as 3.9 into 10 raised to 4, and that will be how much? Kilometer per hour square. Like this. This is the correct answer. So how we are converting and how we are converting, how we are putting decimal place, where decimal place is to be put, how many digits should be there in the correct answer. Two things you have to remember. One is about the significant digits and one is about the precision. You have to take care of the places available after the decimal. Whatever decimal places are given in the data, those many should be maintained in the final answer. Minimum supposing. If radius is 2.0 and height is supposing 3.12, so radius is only 2.0, only up to 1 decimal place is given. So in final answer only 1 decimal place should be shown. Minimum precision is to be taken into account in the final answer. Okay, please pause and copy, children. Now the fourth one is the children, rather D, that is given to me as G is equal to 6.67 into 10 raised to minus 11 Newton meter square upon kg square. That is to be converted like this. So I write it as 6.67 into 10 raised to minus 11. Newton means kg meter per second square into meter square upon kg square. So this will be 6.67 into 10 raised to minus 11 meter cube upon kg into second square. Okay. So if I write like this, this becomes 6.67 into 10 raised to minus 11 meter cube. See, I want centimeter cube. So meter cube is 10 square centimeter cube. 1 meter is 100 centimeter. 1 kilogram is 1000 gram and second square. So this becomes 6.67 into 10 raised to minus 11. See, 10 raised to 6, 10 raised to 3 centimeter cube upon gram second square. So this is 6.67 into, see, this is 10 cube, so 10 raised to minus 8. This will be coming. So G is value this. So 3 significant digits 3 significant digits, accuracy up to 2 decimal, precision of 2 decimals, precision of 2 decimals. Okay, please pause and copy, children. Okay, children. Now see, it is said that 1 calorie, it is unit of heat energy in thermal physics actually. So 1 calorie is 4.2 joule. Joule is the SI unit of energy. There we sometimes call calorie. Nowadays, children, calorie is not used anywhere except in nutritional science. So please understand, calorie is not the unit of heat energy in any system of units. Neither MKS, nor CGS, nor SI, nor FPS or whatever. Calorie as a unit of energy, rather heat energy, is used only in nutritional science. If you see any food products, so over there on the label, on the box it is written how many kilocalories or calories are there. So calorie is 4.2 joule actually, and joule is kg meter square upon second square, correct unit of energy in SI system. In a new system, instead of 1 kg, we are taking alpha kg. We are changing the system. In SI system, the unit of mass is 1 kg, the unit of length is 1 meter, unit of time is 1 second. Now we are formulating another system where alpha kg will be 1 unit mass, beta meter will be 1 unit length, and gamma second will be unit of time. So 1 unit time will be gamma second, 1 unit length will be beta meter, and 1 unit mass will be alpha kg in the new system. So he is saying show that calorie in the new system has magnitude of this much. The calorie which was 4.2 joule has become this much in the new system that you want to prove. So supposedly 1 calorie is equal to x c dash, where c dash is the new system unit of calorie. So supposing 1 calorie is x times in the new system. So this is 1 calorie means 4.2 joule. So 4.2 joule will be x into c dash. So that is 4.2 joule means kg meter square upon second square, that will be x times c dash, new system units, kilogram meter square second square. Instead of kilogram I will write alpha kilogram, because in this system mass is alpha kilogram. Meter square means length square, so here there is beta meter square, and upon second square, so here there is gamma second square. So 4.2 kg meter square upon second square becomes equal to x alpha beta square upon gamma square c into kg meter square upon second square. So this gets cancelled out, kg meter square upon second square. So 4.2 becomes x into alpha beta square upon gamma square. So what is x for me? 4.2 gamma square upon alpha beta square, and that becomes 4.2 alpha raised to minus 1, beta raised to minus 1, gamma raised to 2. Like this you have to think. That is what we get. Now look at the next question, children. The new unit of length is chosen such that speed of light in vacuum is 3 into 10 raised to 8 meter per second. That is taken as unity means 1. The new system, the speed of light 3 into 10 raised to 8 meter per second. Now that is taken as 1 unit. If the light takes 8 minutes and 20 seconds, means 500 seconds. 8 into 60, 480 plus 20, 500. If the light takes 500 seconds to reach Earth from Sun, what is the distance between Earth and Sun in the new system? So children, we know that distance is given by speed into time. So what was the actual distance? Speed was 3 into 10 raised to 8 and time was 500 seconds. These many meter the distance was there, meter. Now this velocity you are taking as 1. So d dash becomes 1 into 500 m dash new system. So d dash is 500 new units. You have to think like this, new units. So in terms of new units, what is the distance between Earth and Sun? Only 500 units. Okay. Then already when I was teaching you the theory part, children, I told you there is no place for adjectives in physics. Whether this pen is light, Earth is large, Earth is heavy, or massive, or whatever, that has got no sense. We have to give with respect to some reference, because I told you at that time that the proton may be very small for us, but it is very big for electron. If electron thinks about proton, then the mass of proton is very large as compared to electron. But for us or for this pen, the proton is having very less amount of mass or negligible mass. So if I say proton has got negligible mass, that will be wrong, because from electron point of view, the mass of proton is not negligible. So reference has to be given. If I am saying mass of proton is negligible, that means negligible in comparison to what? That reference has to be given. So atoms are very small objects. Now reference is not given. The atoms are very small for us, but not for electron or proton. So electrons are very small objects as compared to a cricket ball, or as compared to a watermelon, or as compared to myself, or whatever. So very small with respect to something you have to mention which is very large as compared to atom. So it can be a cricket ball or even a tennis ball or watermelon, whatever. I gave you a few examples. Jet plane moves with great speed. With great speed with respect to what? Maybe with respect to a cyclist or a bus or a train, something like that. The mass of Jupiter is very large. So then I have to think of some object which is having very less mass, because I am saying mass of Jupiter is very large. So I may say the mass of Jupiter is very large as compared to the Moon or Earth or Venus or Mercury or whatever. The air inside the room contains large number of molecules. So in this room I may say that the number of molecules is very large, but in reference to what? Maybe in reference to a air filled inside a small balloon. As compared to that, the air in this room is containing very large number of molecules. So some reference I am giving as compared to the number of molecules in a air filled in a small balloon, or in a small balloon, or whatever we can think, in a small box or whatever. Then see, a proton is much more massive than an electron. This is correct because reference is given. Proton is massive. Massive means having very large amount of mass. As compared to what? Electron. That is correct. The speed of sound is much smaller than the speed of light. This is also correct because reference is already given. The speed of sound is less as compared to speed of light. That is the correct statement. When the last two reference were given, that speed of sound is less. Only if this is said that speed of sound is very less, then it has got no meaning. The speed of sound is less in compared to what? So we have to think of some speed which is very great as compared to that of sound. So we know speed of light is very large as compared to speed of sound. Then we can say. And another one was proton is much more massive than an electron. Yes. If I only say proton is very massive, it has got no sense, because for me proton is not massive. So when I say with respect to electron, then it is correct. So please pause and copy children these two sums. So now children, when I was teaching the theory, I had shown you this vernier scale, vernier calipers, and this can slide over it. I had shown you. And this is the main scale, and here there is vernier scale on this slider. So the main scale over here can read minimum 1 millimeter, just like your foot rule in the compass box, your scale, plastic scale in your compass box. So least count of the main scale, that is 1 millimeter, and here there are divisions on the vernier scale. How do we get least count of vernier scale? See, it is told to me that vernier calipers have 20 divisions on the vernier scale. Vernier scale means this sliding scale. This which can slide, and this is having 20 divisions. Now what is the least count of main scale? Least count of main scale in vernier calipers is 1 millimeter, and there are 20 divisions. 20 divisions on vernier scale. So how to get least count of vernier scale, vernier calipers? See, least count of main scale is 1 millimeter. And there are 20 divisions on vernier scale, like that vernier scale. So what is the least count of the apparatus, the vernier calipers? This 1 millimeter is to be divided by 20. So this will become 5 millimeter upon 100. That will be 0.5 centimeter upon 100. That will be 0.005 centimeter. This will be the least count of vernier calipers. Then let us come to next. Screw gauge. This I had shown you screw gauge like this. So there is a circular scale over here, and there is a main scale over here on this. So on the main scale again the least count is 1 millimeter, and this is the circular scale which is called the vernier scale. So he is telling us screw gauge of pitch 1 millimeter. Pitch 1 millimeter means the least count of this horizontal scale is given to us 1 millimeter. So least count of main scale On this it is given to me as 1 millimeter. And how many divisions? 100 divisions on circular scale. So what is the least count of screw gauge? That will be 1 millimeter upon 100. Sorry, this will be 0.1 centimeter upon 100, and that will be 0.001 centimeter. This will be least count of screw gauge. Optical instrument can measure wavelength of light. So for optical instrument, least count of optical instrument, wavelength of light is in the range of 10 raised to minus 7 meter. Sorry, 10 raised to minus 7 meter is the range of wavelength of light. So that becomes 10 raised to minus 5 centimeter multiplying by 100, and that becomes 0.00001 centimeter. So children, the least count is least where it is 0.005, 0.001. This is the least. So whichever has got the least count, that is most precise. So the instrument which has got least count becomes most precise. So most precise observation will come using optical instrument. That is the point. And out of screw gauge and this vernier calipers, this is 0.005, this is 0.001. So this will be better because here least count is less, here least count is more. Like this you have to think. Okay. Then thickness of hair through a microscope of magnification 100x. 100x means magnification is 100 times. The thickness of hair through a microscope of magnification 100x is this much. That means through the microscope, the width or thickness of hair is found to be 3.5 millimeter. But this is the thickness when it is 100 times magnified. So what is the estimate of thickness? He says 20 observations are made. That is okay. That has got nothing to do with the answer. What is the estimate of thickness? So children, if T is the thickness of the hair, then 100 times magnification, 100 T is coming out to be 3.5 millimeter. So T will be how much? 3.5 upon 100 millimeter. This will be the answer. You can write down 0.0035 millimeter or centimeter, whatever. Okay, please pause and copy, children. Very interesting questions are there, children. You are given a thread and a meter scale. How will you estimate the diameter of thread? So you are given a thread, a very small diameter, very thin thread you are given, and you are given a meter scale or foot rule, whatever. Say maybe this is the scale over here. Okay, it has got markings, and I've got a very small thread with me, having very less diameter, very thin thread. I want to estimate its diameter. So what we can do, children? This is the scale with you, and you have got its marking. This is 0, this is 1, this is 2, this is 3, this is 4, this is 5, 6, 7, all in millimeters. Okay, we think like this. These are our marking in millimeters, 0 millimeter and like this. So what I will do, children, I will take my thread and I will start winding it from here. And I will wind it like this, and I will wind very closely. There should be no gap between the loops. There should be no gap between two loops. I will keep on tying it like this around the scale. I hope you understand what I am saying. And keep on tying it. And there should be no gap between the loops. And stop somewhere. Supposing you stop at 3. So this was the thread. It is over here. So then you know that this length is how much? 3 millimeter. Okay. Now you can count the number of loops. How many loops are there? Supposing there are 20 loops. 1, 2, 3, 4. You count like this. What I am telling you, I will show you a magnified image. This was 0, this was 1, this was 2, and this was 3. You have put the loops very close so that there is no gap. But when we magnify, it will appear like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 like this. So you count how many loops are there. Supposing n number of loops are there, if you count up to here, n number of loops. You can understand, children, very easily that if D is the diameter of the thread, then this will be ND, because one loop will have thickness of 1 diameter. And there are n loops. The total thickness will be ND, and that will be how much? 3 millimeter. You already know what is n, you can count. So this will be 3 millimeter upon n. That will give you diameter of the thread piece. Okay? Like this we can do it. But remember, There should be no gap between the loops. The loops should be very close to each other. There should be no gap. Otherwise, our answer will be wrong. Can we increase precision of screw gauge by increasing number of divisions on circular scale as many as we want? Children, I have told you, if this is the circular scale and this was the main scale of the screw gauge, and there are markings over here 1 millimeter, 2 millimeter, 3 millimeter, and so on it goes. And there are markings over here, circular scale. Sometimes there are 25 markings, sometimes 50, sometimes 100 like this. How, supposing there are n markings over here on this circular scale of screw gauge, which I showed you. See, this is the screw gauge I am showing you again. Okay, this is, I am showing you. See, I am opening it. This is the horizontal scale, this one which I am showing you. Over here there are markings 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And this is the circular scale on which markings are there. In this micro screw gauge, there are 100 markings. Some are available which are having 50 divisions and 25 divisions and like that. So how do we get least count of screw gauge? This length is 1 millimeter. This least count of the main scale. This is my main scale, and this is the circular scale. This is also called vernier scale. So main scale has got least count of 1 millimeter, and if you divide by n is the number of divisions on circular scale, I will get the least count. Naturally, if you know that the least count is less, your precision will be more. In case of screw gauge having only 50 divisions, my least count is 1 millimeter upon 50, that is 2 upon 100 millimeter, and that will become 0.02 millimeter. If there are 100 divisions, so it will become 1 millimeter upon 100, that will become 0.01 millimeter. So you can see, if I increase the number of divisions, least count decreases. That means by making more and more divisions on the circular scale, instead of 50 or 100 or 200, 500, 1000, I can decrease my least count and my precision can increase. But children, what will happen if you increase the number of divisions? Then the number of divisions will become very close, and think like this. This is the circular scale. Earlier you had only 50 divisions, so maybe your circular divisions will be like this, very far away from each other. This is the main scale. It will be very easy for you to identify which division is coinciding with the main scale. This is your main scale. This is the main scale on which there are markings like this. So when the divisions are very much far apart, when the number of divisions are less on the screw gauge, then you can easily find out which division of the circular scale is coinciding with the main scale. And then calculating the number of divisions on circular scale, it becomes very easy for us. But if I increase the number of divisions like this, if I make them very close, if I increase means the divisions will become very close like this, as you can see in the diagram, and then identifying which division is coinciding with the main scale will become very, very difficult. So even though I may think that I am increasing the number of divisions to a large extent and trying to decrease the least count, but in that case it will become very difficult for me to identify exactly which division of circular scale is coinciding with the main scale, because that is very important. When you do practicals, you will realize how to take the vernier reading. Vernier reading is to be taken by seeing which division of circular scale is coinciding with the main scale. Here numbers are written. See 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. Right now I can see 23rd division of circular scale is coinciding with the main scale. If they become very close, then it will become very difficult for us to count or to observe even which division is coinciding with the main scale. So taking vernier reading will become very difficult. So we can put as many divisions as we want, but if we increase the number of divisions, then taking vernier reading will become very, very difficult. So we cannot increase the number of divisions to any extent. We should make number of divisions only so many that at least we are able to identify very easily without straining our eyes that which division is coinciding in the main scale. They should not be so close, there should not be so many divisions that they become so close to each other that it becomes very difficult for the person to make out which division of circular scale is coinciding with the main scale. So that is the answer for this question. Then diameter of the brass rod is measured using vernier caliper. So maybe like this. This is the brass rod. I will hold it over here, and then I will hold it like this, a brass rod like this, and then I will see the readings. From readings I will come to know what is the diameter of this rod. Okay, like this you are doing, you will learn in practical labs, and then you go. The diameter of brass rod is measured using vernier calipers. Set of 100 observations will give a better result or set of 5 observations? Children, I have already told you when I was teaching you the topic of errors. We increase the number of observations. We take repeated observations only to decrease the amount of random error. Random error has got no source. It is very difficult to identify the source of random error. So only to decrease the amount of random error, we are taking repeated observations. We are increasing the amount of observations. So definitely the set of 100 observations will be better than the set of 5 observations, because here more and more observations will lead to decrease of amount of random error, and therefore we are trying to minimize the random error by taking repeated observations. Thank you so much, children. In this video, we'll take up more questions in the next video. Thank you and God bless you.